I normally don't do a lot of unboxings, but I did get a little something in the mail that I'm excited to take a look at. This is the fifine K688CT. Now, a bit of disclosure. Fifine did reach out to me and provide me with this unit for review, but they have not seen this video prior to me posting it, and everything following is my honest opinions and feelings. All right, so let's take a look at the entire package. So again, from Fifine, it is the K688CT. CT meaning that you get the comboed professional microphone arm. All right, so let's look at the AmpliTank K688. So XLR, USB-C, that's nice. They have sent me the black one, but it does come in pink and white. Includes a microphone shock mount, USB cable, 5/8 to 3/8 adapter, and a user manual. Okay, let's take a look. All right, so user manual. Nice foam to cover. That's so USB-C to USB-A. Oh, I'm wrong. USB-C and USB-A, that's kind of nice to have. I'm going to assume, yeah, those are not O-rings, they are the elastics for the shock mount and the adapter. Yep. And there's nothing else. All right, so as I mentioned before, the shock mount is right here. That is where all the, you can see here, the elastics hold and absorb the shock or any motion. The back of it, XLR, USB-C, knobs for volume for the microphone and gain, and there is a 3.5mm jack. Okay, feels pretty nice. Metal shock mount, metal body, like a little windscreen. Let's take that off. Decently plush. And there is the capsule right in there. You can see it. That's where all the sound waves go. Oh, and I forgot to mention it does have a mute button, which is pretty handy to have. Now, it does say professional mic arm. Whether it's professional or not, I don't see a lot of scissor spring-loaded arms overly professional, but I think based on the amount that they charge for this separately, or the price that increases when you buy the kit together, it's about $10 to $20. So that's about reasonable, that's about right. All right, so this is the mount for a desk. Okay, it does have a little rubber grippy thing. Spins well. There is no padding here, but that's easy enough to add. Yeah, tightening knob. Damn it. User manual. Well protected, and yeah. Also has another adapter. That's actually kind of nice. Aluminum body. Does have some creaks in it, but nothing out of the ordinary. Knob adjustment here. To add tension. Okay. So one of the benefits of a scissor mount compared to other types of mounts is that if you keep your microphone in a specific position, when you raise it or lower it or change it, it stays in the same orientation, which is super handy to have. I have a similar mount that I'm actually filming my camera on right now. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's near identical. It does look like they have capped off the bolts, which is nice. But yeah, I would say, yeah, roughly $10 or so if you are getting it for free with the kit. Awesome, but if you're not not a big worry. You can probably buy it separately. I know for my friends in Canada, unfortunately, you don't get it. They don't have the kit in Canada, but I will put the links down below where you can see both items, the arm and the mic. But down in the States, you get the mic and the arm all together in one kit. All right, let's take a look at the rest of it. Normally I don't shoot at this angle, but I'm showing you this now so you can see how easy it is to set up the microphone. I already have the desk mount attached. It is really secure. It does say that it can take up to 2.1 inches of desk. Mine's just under an inch and it still works fine. So you take the scissor arm, plop it in, tighten it up, and there you go. If you're pulling it too hard, yeah, I can already see it moving a little bit on my desk, but if you're gentle and you're moving it with care, shouldn't be a problem. Now it does have the 3/8 and 5/8 adapter on, so that's easy. That fits most microphones. Now, although the shock mount feels metal, I believe the mount itself is plastic. That's not bad or good, just is, but it does have a metal insert. That's really good. Awesome. And I will adjust it how I want. Okay. As I mentioned before, if you have a scissor arm like this, and the microphone is set to where you want it, and you want to put it away or lift it up or down, you can, and it doesn't change orientation. Super handy. So I've already plugged this into my computer. It is about 6 feet long, which should fit most setups. You plug in the USB-C in the back, make sure it clicks, and it already glows with a live button, and very easily tap it once and it's red, so it's muted. Now, one of the big things I like about this microphone is that it has a monitoring port, so the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the back. Now, the biggest benefit with this is, let me plug it in. If you have a pair of headphones, and you plug it in the back, yeah, you can hear yourself live immediately. What that means is that there's no latency between the microphone and the headset. So sometimes if you plug it into your computer, so you plug in the microphone to your computer and then your headphones to your, well, head, then you might receive some latency. There might be a delay and it gets really disorienting, I guess I could say, when you're hearing yourself a couple of fractions of a second slower. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're listening to yourself through a microphone or when listening to yourself talking, it does make a big difference. So a dynamic mic is what this is. So a dynamic mic is more sensitive. So you do have that ability to get really close to the microphone and speak, and does give you that rich podcasting sound, which we'll get into in the next section. So this mic is a top address mic. What that means is that the sound goes this way, not from the sides or from the front. What that means is it's very directional. So if you were going to speak towards it, I would say keep it to the side to avoid things like plosives, or directly at you, rather than talking to the side or the profile of the mic, because that's really not going to capture the best quality sound. So now that we're physically set up, let's take a look at see how the system has recognized it. Now I am recording it on my Osmo Pocket, or my Osmo Pocket 3 with the DJI Mic 2. Now I'm doing this for a very specific reason, and I'll show you it in just a second. So now we're in the system. We can see that it got picked up pretty quickly. No drivers installed. It's just working fine. fifine, that is. Haha. It is a one-channel 24-bit at 48,000 hertz. I am at input volume at 100. I have cranked the gain to its maximum, and I have put the volume for the headphones at maximum as well, so then I can hear the changes. I have loaded it up on OBS. So this mic is currently being used, yes, because it's being used by OBS off screen, but I have put the levels so I can see where it is. Now, the reason I did this is because without a monitor of some sort, without some gauge or levels, you won't know how loud it is until you're finished recording. So this is why I pulled it up. I'm at 100% input volume and the max cranked gain on the mic. So I'm gonna switch over to it shortly, but you can see here it is peaking. Red is peaking. Yellow is, cautionary, getting pretty loud, and green is kind of where you want to be in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the mic. Oh, you can pick up the sound of me touching it. I'm going to drop it down so you can see that I'm speaking clearly, closely, but across the top, and I'm still kind of getting to that yellow, so I'm going to try to bring my volume down so it's more or less in the green. You can see this little tiny bit of color. That's kind of where you've been peaking, or where that's the loudest it's been a while. So we'll drop it down a little further. And hopefully, yeah, that's kind of where I would say if you're talking pretty loudly, that's kind of where it is. I'm going to take a quick peek in the back of the mic. So I've taken a look at the back of the microphone, and it's about 70%. I'll show you a picture somewhere here what it looks like, and that's bringing me to that green level, just a little bit into that yellow, and I think that's a good volume. So if you're talking away from it, it's going to drop down. If you talk towards the side of it, it's really not going to pick you up as much. But then when you move properly to the top address, so you're actually talking across or towards it, it's going to be a lot louder. It's going to pick you up much clearer, and that's what you want for this kind of mic. Now that I have dialed in the manual controls on the actual microphone, I'm going to take a look at how the audio sounds when nothing is happening. So the floor noise. So if nothing is happening, if you're not talking, there's nothing happening. Floor noise is what's the lowest lows, what it will pick up when it's properly adjusted. I have a little camera cooler fan with me to act as some background noise. And now I'm going to shut up and turn this on. If it would work. All right, so it is on. I'm going to bring it up to the mic. So this is on setting 1. Now, that's unrealistic for how quiet it is, but it was registering. I'm going to put it aside, just on the desk. So it is picking up a little bit, but not enough that I would say is reasonable. Now I'm going to turn that off and do what most people will be doing with this type of microphone, is clicking and clacketing on their computer. So I'm going to turn off the keyboard so you can hear the noise, but you can't hear, or I'm not going to click any weird buttons. So my mouse, just on the desk. Okay, it's registering. Okay, it is registering. It's not too loud, but it is picking it up. I'm just going to tap lightly on the desk to see how much the shock mic will absorb and how much the scissor arm will also absorb. Okay, so I mean that's not too bad. You can always use some noise cancellation or noise isolation in post. But if you're not doing it in post, if you're doing it live, if you're on a Zoom call, a video call, or maybe streaming, you really might not be able to have that option, or maybe you don't have that option. So making sure that it sounds correct is critical. But that's where the scissor arm kind of falls a little flat, is that it does attach pretty tightly to the desk and it does absorb the sound. So that's where the shock mounts come in. But because, oh, that's loud. That's very loud. My cables are going to be brushing across the springs. Oh, that's crazy loud. Cables are just going to be on my desk rubbing against each other. Yeah, okay. So the mic can pick up the sound from the cables. You will want to isolate them. You would want to tie them down or adjust, make sure that they are not moving around, so you isolate that noise, but it does pick it up. So not the end of the world. You just have to be cognizant of what to do when you're trying to avoid that. After reviewing the video and listening to the audio, what do I think? I think that this mic is a great first microphone for someone upgrading from recording on a cell phone or a gaming headset. It has XLR and USB-C, which is amazing because not very many people have an audio interface with XLR when they first start out. And a lot of other mics with USB-C and XLR can be more expensive. Now, for someone starting a podcast or looking to stream, yeah, I think this is a perfectly reasonable microphone that's a dynamic mic, which gives you that sound that you're looking for, but you have to understand its limitations. Making sure that the gains and the volume is set properly, and you tie down the cables to the arm or somewhere else so it doesn't add on extra noise. Now, going back to the arm. Do I think it's a professional arm? No. It's perfectly reasonable. It's 100% usable. I just don't think that it is something that I would call professional. But the benefit is they're not charging you a professional microphone arm price for it. I think they're charging you a reasonable amount for a bundled arm. They still have to charge you something, so I fully understand. And if you can get the bundle on sale, then you're saving even more. Hopefully, if you're someone looking for your first microphone, this has helped you gain a better insight on what's inside the fifine K688CT. And if you have any questions, leave it down below, and hopefully I'll have an answer for you. Until next time.